everyone, Rob C. Hinds here, and welcome to another Freebie Friday. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed the interview, which has happened over the last 2 weeks over Freebie Friday. If you go onto there now, you'll see the full interview in one complete take. Now, what I want to talk about today is the quarterly review. We're now in April, which is the fourth month of the year. So we've had January, we've had February, and we've had March of the year for everybody to be getting on with their goals. Now, as long as everybody had set themselves a goal come January the 1st of what they wanted to complete for the 12 months, then now is the time to really take stock and see where you are in relation to your goal. 3 months is 90 days have gone. So start looking at what was your goal. Start to get some quiet time, maybe take an afternoon, maybe take one day out of the weekend. Go somewhere where you're not going to be disturbed, because this is the time for you to be able to check in with yourself and have a real strong, tougher look at what you've been doing the last 3 months. Because remember, time just goes. Time is not on anybody else's schedule. Time is on its own schedule. You have to fit in with time. So let's just start looking at what is going right for you, what's going well, what isn't working, what do you need to change, who do you need to get into your team. So the first thing is, what was your goal? Start to review what your goals were. You may have had one big goal that you're working to. You may have had one goal in each of the 9 areas of your life spectrum. I'm always going on about life spectrum. I'm always talking about those 9 different areas. I've done quite a few videos on this. But your 9 areas are going to be your spirituality, your health, your relationships, your business, your finance, your personal development, your lifestyle, your contribution, and your wealth. And your legacy. So really do take a look at those. And like I said, you may have set one goal for each of those different sections. And if you did, that's fine. But now it's time to really check in on what's working. Now take a look at the last 3 months and look at the action steps that you have been doing. If you've been keeping a journal, then you would have been noting down what your successes were or what sort of things have been taking up your time. So do look through those, and then you will now start to see a pattern in the activities that you are doing, which are starting to get you somewhere. What you want to be doing is doing more of those, and then start to look at the activities that you're doing which are not giving you the results that you want. And what you want to be doing is doing less of those. So do more of what's working and do less of what's not working. Now that sounds very, very simple, but a lot of people keep doing more of the stuff which isn't working. Now what you've got to do is be able to distinguish between the two things, the two activities, what is working and what isn't working. Do more of what is working and do less of what isn't working. Time to check up who's in your team around you. We all know now that through success is not something that you can do on alone. You have to do it on your own, but you can't do it alone. So you need to have a team. So who now is in your team? Who in the last 3 months have you met, have you joined up with, have you done a joint venture with, who is now on board with your vision to helping you to get where you want to get to? You may also be helping them as well, but who's in your team? Do you have a tax advisor? Do you have maybe a graphic designer? Do you have a mentor? It's so important that you've got a mentor. Have you got an accountability partner? Have you got a mentee? Who is it that you're now starting to show the ropes to? Whether it's in your own business, whether you're in a mastermind group, but who have you got in your team? If you haven't started to think about that yet, then really do consider it, because this journey towards success is not something that you're going to be able to do on your own. So you are going to need a team around you. Now start to look at the habits. We all have got habits that we want to try to eliminate, and we've all got habits which we'd all like to adopt. So what are the habits that you've now started to phase out through these last 3 months? If you clearly have identified the habits which you wanted to change, how far advanced are you with them? If you didn't identify any habits, then start looking at the habits that you could be doing now which are not favorable to your conditions. So are you waking up too late? Are you going to bed too late? Are you not reading enough? Are you not spending time socializing? Are you not spending time with your loved ones? So start to look at the habits, what you are currently doing. Start to choose these habits. I would say choose habits 2 at a time to implement new habits, and then that will then squeeze out the habits which you don't want. Look at your personal development. What books have you read since 2015? Whether they're audio books, whether they're physical books, but what has your positive information input been? What books have you read? Have they been relevant to a skill that you know that you need to develop? Or have they just been general knowledge books? So start to look at the books you've been reading, look at the audios that you've been listening to. Maybe you're someone who likes to download audios, or you use something like audible.com. But what process are you using to take in that new information? And what events are you going to? How are you stretching yourself out of your comfort zone? Are you going to events which are completely out of your industry? Are you going to new events where you don't know anybody, so which is going to then force you to start to communicate, to start to connect with people? So start to look at how are you getting that new information in. Excuse me. How are you getting those new ideas? Whether it's reading them, whether it's seeing them, whether it's going through live events. But these are the things that you've got to start incorporating into your daily routines, into your monthly routine, for you to be able to get closer to that goal. Now, take a look at your goal, your 12-month goal, and over the 3 months, what have you been doing? What have you done that has significantly taken you closer towards your goal? There's going to be a few things which you have done which have really helped. And like I said, there's going to be a few things which haven't helped. But don't get yourself into any self-sabotage. Just look at it, realize that you may have been going in the wrong direction, and then embrace it, take it on board, and then replot your journey. Use your team, but replot your journey. So make sure you're doing this. Make sure you're reviewing the day. Make sure you're reviewing the week. Make sure you're reviewing the month. And then every 3 months, because there's only 4 quarters within the year, and then make sure you're reviewing your 3 months. So you make sure you're reviewing your quarter, and that's just going to help you to get such a grip, such a handle on your own routine, your own rhythm, because you will start to see a rhythm appearing. And so important, once you can get that rhythm, that's when you know that you can interject, and then you can help yourself in that development process. So I hope everybody will take this on board. Do your 3-month review, do your quarterly review, and just make sure you're doing the things which are working and less of the things which aren't working. If you need to get in touch with me to do with anything to do with mentorship or to building a team, because I do my masterclass, and getting within that team as a fantastic team, then drop me a line. I'm on robert@rchinds.com. You can drop me a line on Facebook, on Instagram, any of the way you see me on social media. Okay, well, enjoy the fantastic weather. Have a great weekend. And above all, keep reading, keep studying, and above all, keep growing. See you later.